So Aaron, do you have an example that you could take from what Stu's just saying about how we work with clients related to process that gives them an unfair advantage?
Yes, I can. We give them an unfair advantage, certainly technologically, but 99.99% of the marketers out there and the companies doing the CRM related marketing are focusing on leads and not sales revenue and profit. It's very difficult to do sales revenue and profit, to track it and optimize it, and takes AI and it takes a lot of work. So and then we also focus on lifetime value revenue, lifetime value profit, and then we optimize it to maximize that. That is an unfair advantage beyond. And a lot of people might know it conceptually, they focus on those things, but they just don't do it. And when you take, for instance, when you are bidding based on a cost per acquisition that is based on lifetime value, you can use a higher cost per acquisition when all the competitors that aren't working with us are using first sale value. So we're pushing their ads up, and all their competitors are scratching their head. They're going, how are they doing this? They're burning money just to push the market out from under them. And no, you just
I think that's a totally
for longer.
I think that's a great example of an unfair advantage. By the way, I just want to clarify that by unfair advantage, I'm not saying these are they're not doing anything illegal. It's not actually unfair.
No, yeah, of course.
It's just
it's a good point.
Smarter than everyone else, and the people who you compete with, they're still stuck on focusing on first sale value rather than lifetime value, for example. And because your strategy is based on lifetime value rather than first sale value, you end up beating them. So it's unfair advantage is how I want our competitors to describe what we're doing or what we have as a competitive advantage.
And how about you, Alex? What's coming to mind from yours?
Yeah, well, one, I just want to comment on the fact that what you're talking about, Aaron, is an evolution, right? You got through many clients and using a lot of money and a lot of technology to identify how best to perform. Kind of like when you think, Stu, when you talk about weeds, it's an evolution that gets them to this place that they're really consistent in how they perform, right?
Yeah.
So you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like really prolific. So I'd say, for us, Aaron and Stu, when we're automating a solution in HubSpot or Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics, we're actually building on 20 years of experience in CRM across all of these different types of companies, and then drilling it into specific types of companies. So what campaigns work in finance? What campaigns work in accounting? What kind of campaigns work in SaaS? And there's a lot of consistencies, but we're drawing from around us. It's like we're adapting, so to speak, Stu, to what's happening, right? So if you're throwing Roundup all over the place on our clients, we have to adapt, but we're pulling ideas from all these other industries and building on what is already a platform that is successful. And then it's like that with other ideas, it works.
It's like you built your own immunity to Roundup, and then you spread that to your clients. And I just want to say, I think one of the best classes of unfair advantage are the ones that you can pass on to your clients or give to your clients. So if by working with you, they gain new unfair advantages, they're never leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you mentioned,
look out for the glyphosate that could, the disruptor.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Uber in the taxi world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And we're always doing
Stu, you mentioned it. I just want to say, you mentioned in your book, this idea of teaming with a network of partners, right? When you can build around you partners, that is an unfair advantage. You called it graduating to multi-channel scale.
Right.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about that and how you associate that with businesses and why that's so important.
Yeah. And just to put it into context, what I was saying earlier is the model for weeds for growth that the weeds use is that they use this Well, they deal with what is. That's kind of a great way to describe their mindset. But they have this fierce mindset, and they just deal with what is. They're not worried about like what they didn't get or what they thought they should get but weren't getting. They don't care about that. They just deal with what is, and they deal with it with just ferocity. And then so it's a ferocious or just a very fierce mindset. And then unfair advantages. They never do anything without unfair advantages. But then they never do anything alone. That's everything they do is at scale. They don't do one at a time. So yeah. I mean, I gave the example earlier of the dandelion that you might spot in your lawn, and if you spot one, if you look up, because you're not going to find just one. They don't exist as just one. If they were just showing up as a single plant, you'd pull it out and you'd never even give it another thought. But they're already, if you see one in your lawn, look up, you're already getting at least dozens, if not hundreds of them, and you're not getting rid of it. You can fight with them, you can suppress them, but they're going to win. You're not getting rid of them. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the model, or a big part of the model is just working with, collaboration. I just should say collaboration and doing whatever you're doing at a greater scale than just yourself. So certainly, scaling like a weed is, I guess you could do it on your own, and you're going to have a very little leverage. But then if you start just collaborating with some of the, let's say the smartest people you know, and I think if they could speak to us, they'd tell us, you need to collaborate with the smartest people you know, or just team up with the smartest people you know and find ways to collaborate. I imagine that after we finish our interview, we'll find some ways to do it. We're all total weeds here, so right. So
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I want to jump in on that because I met Alex through LinkedIn, and we discovered through partnering that we could tackle some bigger business challenges together.
Yeah.
And we were stronger together. We could bring in and optimize and maximize the quality of leads and predispose them to turn into sales revenue profit. And then Alex's team could build that sophisticated CRM universe and work hand in hand with us, and then pass our code back to us, and when it becomes sales and revenue, and bring it into our AI system. So we closed the loop on that. And then occasionally, Stu, to your point of maybe we'll find a way to work together. Sometimes we need high level, big strategy, change making and change guidance work needed to be done in order for us to really shine. But before we can even go crazy in what we do. And Stu, I mean, with your sort of higher level strategies and guidance and amazing metaphorical approach by using weeds and all their different ways that they proliferate and being able, that's an easy thing for business people to grasp, your metaphors and your analogies. So, because they see that they drive down these highways, they see them in the cracks in the sidewalk, just like you did, but they're probably not thinking, and they know they're successful and they hate that. That's how they're probably looking at some of their competitors, but they're probably not using that as a great way to understand how they can thrive like weeds do. And so, yeah, I could see, because we bring in, I see you as, I guess, kind of a fractional CXO of sorts. Would you fancy yourself that? Because we work with those types of.
I would say that, or a fractional chief weed officer, or something like that. I even have the T-shirt. I just wanted to say, when you described your collaboration together, look at the leverage that you each bring or give to each other and gain from each other. That's incredible. And that is you guys are being total weeds when you do that. That's exactly what you should be doing. And we should find ways to do that on a broader scale. I mean, I love the fact that
we're total weeds.
So I'll take it.